Hi everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day and welcome back to Unite Inside. This is going to be part 2 of my podcast and I'm really excited to share with you how I've been feeling ever since I posted that video and also um, let's go deeper into what I want to talk about. So in this video I want to make this about um, my experience, my healing, and my emotions, the crazy emotions that I went through. And so let's begin. I want to, first of all, I want to talk about. Um, so in the other video that I made, I was explaining how I was going through a lot of inner shifts through my relationship and how that really helped me to transform and also it helped to just help me to see a lot of emotions that I have really been suppressing and like not feeling. And today I just want to go a little bit deeper on that. So, what really happened was really crazy because I feel like I was holding on to a lot of feelings and emotions from my past. And I have done a lot of healing, a lot of meditation, a lot of inner work. But I was really shocked to see just how much more work I had to do. And I had, an explosion of emotions that came up for me. And it was really overwhelming to the point where I was feeling really powerless and I was feeling like I couldn't um, deal with it because in the past, I would have a little dose of emotions come up for me and I would like heal it and learn how to be there for myself. But somehow, when this happened to me, I just kind of shut down. I didn't shut down, but I was like not able to process all of it. And so I would say that I felt like really depressed for a while, and then I also felt a lot of emotions like anger, sadness, disappointment, because I guess the part of me that was trying to protect me from feeling my emotions or from going deeper into my emotions was feeling disappointed that that wasn't happening anymore. And it was interesting because you know um, it's like wow, I just don't even know how to describe it. But what happened was that I think before I have found it hard to be in my feminine like fully and feel a part of being in your feminine is to feel your emotions fully and completely. And I would say that it was really hard for me to feel my emotions fully and completely because in the past, because I've always had like this masculine shield, like this masculine armor that was like protecting me supposedly. And I've really felt comfortable being my masculine for a long time. I felt comfortable not going into my emotions as deeply as I can. And I've always like had this mentality that, oh yeah, you don't go into the emotions. Um, Not all the time. I didn't have that all the time. I also, it was like a different, um, it was like I also was going into my emotions. It's just that I also had a part of me that was like, it would come up sometimes when I'm having an emotion and it would be like, let's be logical. Let's be, um, you know, let's not go into that emotion. Let's not feel it deeply. But what I didn't understand is that not feeling that emotion deeply was actually stopping me from being who I really am fully and from being able to heal my heart and open up fully. And um, it was also stopping me from embracing my feminine energy fully, which is my magic, which is actually my power. And but when my husband came into my life, he like really held space for me because he had a really masculine container and a higher masculine container. His masculine energy was stronger than my masculine energy, and so I was really shocked because I've actually personally never met a man who had. I know this sounds funny, but it was like I've never met a man who had more masculine energy than me. I know this sounds really funny, but like stronger masculine energy than me. I was always like in my masculine where it was like I'm always um the one that's able to like hold space on like deeper levels, um help people with their emotions deeply. But then when my husband came, he like um you know showed me this masculine energy that was like really transformational. I mean, it was like, I don't know how to explain it. It was basically like it transformed me because um it like finally let me go into my feminine, go into my emotions deeper than I used to. And when I did go into my emotions, you know, I felt safe doing that, but at the same time, it was safe to do that in that moment. And it's like safe to break down, it's safe to open up, it's safe to be vulnerable, safe to be all of that. And um, at first, it was shocking because I was shocked to experience these emotions that I thought that I was already like done with, or I was not experiencing anymore. And honestly, realized that it was because I was blocking it with my masculine energy and was not letting myself go deeper. And so it was really hard for me at the same time because I felt really angry because I was like, really angry for a while at the fact that I was not in like control, or um, I felt out of control. And so because of that, I had like not understood, or was like just not getting the fact that um, I was going more into my emotions and I was healing and opening up is what really was happening. But I didn't understand that from the start because it was also my first time experiencing this type of energy, this type of masculine energy in my life. So I had to like understand that because I was always like in my masculine, I was always planning out things. Like I always thought that I had like control. I wouldn't wanted to control everything. And so I had like anxiety actually. That was why that was happening for me, is because I was anxious. And in a way I was like really anxious, extremely anxious, that I would always like think that the only thing that would calm me down is to know that everything is under control. And to know is that everything is under control is to kind of take everything into my own hands, like all the time. But when I was with my husband, I just in the past I couldn't just take things or matters into my own hands the way that I would in the past. And so I just felt really out of control. And I also felt like, um, you know, like I was unlocking a new level of surrendering to the universe because honestly, um, I don't have to always know what's going to happen, and I don't have to always plan things out. Like I don't have to always have a plan for everything, basically. And also I can trust and I can open up and I can surrender at a deeper level. And like that level was unlocked. And it was really hard at first because it really, really made me really sad at first because I was losing, a part of my ego, I would say, like a part of my ego that was holding on to the control of my own life. And I realized that I unlocked a higher level of performing in my own life through that because um, now I can trust the universe deeper. And now I can let the universe help me in my own life and interfere with my own life without having to um, always. It's such a deep level of being in your feminine, embracing your feminine. And a lot of women are so scared of going there. And I would say that I was so scared of going there because um, it almost feels like there is no way in hell that I'm gonna do that, that I'm just gonna let things happen for me, like passively. But it wasn't that I was like just letting things happen. It was like I was trusting and I was being like a vortex of, energy to like just flow through me. And that's like what being a woman is and what being in my feminine is. And I'm talking about this right now, and I still feel like I'm still trying to embrace what happened. Still trying to embrace the shift in energy, the shift of basically being in a certain type of energy and then going into my feminine deeply, going into my goddess energy fully. And I feel like I'm still trying to tell myself that um, this is what's going on, that there is like a heart opening, that there is like an experience that I have not had in my life, where now I have, I would say, I am able to go deeper into myself because I'm safe, because I'm able to do that, and it's like beautiful and amazing. And at the same time, it's crazy because there were all these feelings of anger, sadness, disappointment, all this stuff that came up from this process. And it was really hard and it felt like really lonely because I had no idea what was going to come out of this. I still don't actually, but it's funny because I'm starting to, like, I feel like I am bringing myself to the place of realizing that surrendering to the universe at this level is where is how I need to live. And I'm realizing that the universe is bringing me into my goddess energy and that this is what the universe is choosing for me. And even though it can feel hard to like do this or step into this, it's starting to help me to feel like um, this could bring me into my power where I can embrace my magical energy, where I can embrace my, um, manifestation powers and all of that, which I've always wanted to do. And so that's what I'm going into right now. That's what I'm finding myself doing, like after this experience. It's really interesting because when you find and you meet your divine masculine, like he will definitely trigger you and help you to go into where you really need to go into, like your energy and also like your path. And it might feel hard at first because I did the same for him. Like I brought him into his masculine energy more. And, he told me that at first he was like, definitely like, definitely pushing against it. But then he like realized that I was helping him to actualize himself and hold him into a higher standard. And it was like the same for me. And the thing was that it just made me really vulnerable. And I don't like, it's not that I don't like that. It's just, I don't like being weak. That feeling of being weak, feeling weak. That's the thing that made me feel like I was pushing against it and like feeling in the past and feeling like it was shocking and all the emotions and the anger. It was like because it just was because in the past I hated being weak, and that's why I always took a lot of action in my life, and I've always wanted to, take my life the way that I wanted to, and like create my life, which I can still do, of course. It's just that that's why I got into that type of stuff and manifestation. It's because I hated being powerless, and I don't like being powerless, and so I feel like it brought me into a certain level of vulnerability that I've never really felt before and experienced before. It's funny because I look back into my life and I don't think I've ever been in that position where I felt that vulnerable and like open and exposed, where all of my emotions are out there. And it was like crazy because literally I've never experienced that. And so it was hard for me to embrace it, and it still is. But I'm trying to make videos about it so that I can come into acceptance of it fully, and maybe also get opinions about, like, have you ever experienced something like this where you just somebody really brought up so many of your emotions to be seen and to be looked at and to be, let's say, healed, of course, and released, but it was really hard for you to go into that experience and feel it. And it's really interesting because I really do feel this way. But I feel like I'm wanting to embrace my emotions more and help to feel like, okay, yeah, I do have them, and just like embrace them more. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I feel like I am done with this part of my podcast because I just don't want to make this too long. So, if you have any thoughts or ideas, have you ever experienced something like this? Have you ever been in a position like this before? And then, I will discuss it with you if you have any thoughts or beliefs about this, I would love to do that. Okay, I love you so much, and I will see you soon. Stay tuned for my next video and next one and next one and next one, because this is going to be a series, so there are going to be a couple of videos. So yeah, have a beautiful day.